From Audi to Schwarzkopf, we're surrounded by German brands. But do you pronounce them correctly? Let's find out. Ich bin Spring German Lehrerin Brunhild. Heute sprechen wir über deutsche Marken. Erstens, Automarken. Who doesn't love German cars? How would you pronounce the following? This car brand was developed by a guy named Ferdinand Porsche, who also founded the Porsche AG. Hence, the car brand is also pronounced Porsche. Ferdinand Porsche was also involved in the creation of the VW Käfer, the Volkswagen Beetle. Here's the thing, when the letter V stands alone, it's pronounced V. V. Like the short version of Volkswagen, VW, or VW Golf, which is, by the way, one of the most sold cars in the world. But when the letter V is followed by a vowel, it becomes an F, like der Vogel or das Volk. Which brings me to the origin of the car brand. Hitler wanted an affordable car for regular German citizens, das Volk. So Volkswagen literally means people's wagon or wagon for the people. That's why it's Volkswagen, not Volkswagen. For the sound V, we have the letter V, W, like in the words die Welt or der Wahl. Analyzing the letter V brings me to my next car brand, which is located in my hometown, München, whose flag is blue and white. Can you guess which brand I'm talking about? Of course it has to be BMW. And what do we say about that last letter? That's right, it's pronounced V. So we have BMW, which is short for Bayerische Motorenwerke AG. What do you see when looking at the BMW logo? Yes, the Bavarian flag comes to mind, but there is something else. What if I tell you that BMW originally produced aircraft engines and the BMW logo actually depicts an aircraft propeller? Close to München, we have a town called Ingolstadt, and that is where this car brand is located. Audi. Pretty straightforward.
Hey! Ja, servus! Lange nicht gesehen. Wow, geiler BMW. Danke, ich liebe einfach BMWs. Was fährst du zurzeit?
Einen VW Golf.
Was? Was ist mit deinem coolen Audi TT passiert?
Ich musste ihn verkaufen. Wenn man Kinder hat, ist ein Sportauto etwas unpraktisch.
Verstehe.
Next up we have, which has mainly two letters that get mispronounced, the E and the C. You see, E is E in German and C is C. So the whole name would be Mercedes. The full name is Mercedes-Benz, and the story behind that name is quite interesting. An entrepreneur and marketer named Emil Jelinek helped the Daimler Motorengesellschaft to distribute their new model under one condition, that it would be named after his daughter, Mercedes. Okay, obviously I don't know if it was his only condition, but he really insisted on it. The Benz part comes from the engineer who created the first practical automobile that was powered by an internal combustion engine. Who was this mystical engineer? Well, he was no other than Karl Benz. His company later merged with Daimler Motorengesellschaft to form Daimler-Benz. And the rest of the story we know. Together they produced a car under the car brand name Mercedes-Benz. Ta-da! Now comes my least favorite car brand, and feel free to object here. Knowing that O is being pronounced O in German, it's pretty straightforward. Opel. Opel. And the opinions about this car vary. Some think it's great, some say jeder Popel fährt einen Opel. I think that saying is really funny. Zweitens, Flugzeuge. While we're talking about vehicles, let's also get the flight companies out of the way. How do you pronounce this one? Well, if you know how German vowels are being pronounced, it's pretty easy after that. So let's take a look at that for a second. A, E, I, O, U. So, Lufthansa. Lufthansa. Drittens, Klamottenfirmen. I hear this one being pronounced Hugo Boss a lot. The correct pronunciation is Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss. The founder of the company was Hugo Ferdinand Boss. And nowadays the company is probably one of the most famous ones in Germany. If not the most famous one. Alright, next up we have... How would you pronounce this one? Well, J is being J, Yi in Germany, and O is, I already said it, O is O, and so the whole thing is Job, 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 Job. Woo! They're making perfume and fashion. Also a fashion brand. Actually, with this one, you would probably also get away with an English pronunciation. But the correct pronunciation is S. Oliver. So just leave the R out, not S. Oliver, but S. Oliver. Replace the R with an A, and there you have it. S. Oliver. God, we have many fashion companies. Bruno Banani has its Hauptsitz in Chemnitz. How do you think this fashion brand is being pronounced? There's quite a few possibilities. Where should the emphasis be? What do you think? It's not Adidas, it's not Adidas, it's Adidas. It's a sports fashion brand, and so is this next one. How do we pronounce this? Puma. Puma. Fun story, Adidas and Puma are the biggest rivalries today, but their founders are actually brothers. While Adidas was founded by Adolf Dassler, nickname Adi, hence the nickname Adidas, Puma was founded by his brother Rudolf Dassler. Initially, they both worked with Adidas, but after some disagreements, they split. So watch out when making business with your loved ones. It may not benefit your relationship or business. Founded by Heidemarie Jeline Sander in 1994, the pronunciation is pretty straightforward. Jill Sander. Viertens, Kosmetikfirmen. Nobody ever gets this right because of these two guys, SCH and V. Now let me explain it to you. When an S, C, and H stand together, they create a new sound. Sh, sh. And we already talked about the W being pronounced as V. So knowing that SCH is sh and W is V, how would you pronounce this brand? Schwarzkopf. Speaking of the letter W in hairstyling brands, we have another famous one. I actually modeled for them once. The brand was launched 140 years ago. Vela. That's right, Vela. Those of us who appreciate skincare surely know about this one. But how would you pronounce it? Well, the correct answer is Nivea. The emphasis is on the E, Nivea. Did you get it right? If you prefer skincare entirely without any synthetische Wirkstoffe, you might prefer this brand. But how do we pronounce this bad boy? Well, we learned that SC and H standing together create this sound, sh. And we already learned from Audi that A and U together are being pronounced Au. So with this knowledge, we know that the pronunciation has to be Dr. Hauschka. Hauschka. Dr. Hauschka. Do you know this brand? Fünftens, Haushaltsgeräte. Let's start this headline with a leading technology company with its headquarters in my hometown, München. Now, when an E comes after an E, the whole thing is being pronounced like a long E. E. Siemens. And German always has soft S's, Z, that have more of a buzzing sound. So it's not Siemens, it's Siemens. Siemens. With this knowledge, I bet you can pronounce the next one perfectly. Again, there's an E following an E, so we have to pronounce it Miele. Miele, famous for dishwashers and washing machines. What did we say about SCH? It becomes sh, so Bosch. Bosch, famous for household appliances. Another manufacturer for household appliances is... Yes, thanks to them we have the amazing... We don't have a TH in Germany. The sound does not exist. A T followed by an H is just a T. So, Thermomix. Thermomix. We know that the V in the beginning of a word followed by a vowel is being pronounced as an F. Volkswagen. Vorwerk. Right, and the W is V. Vorwerk. Vorwerk. Sechstes, Nahrungsmittel. The #1 discount retailer in Germany. After learning that A is A in German, Aldi is not how this brand is going to be pronounced. It's Aldi. Aldi. A German discount store founded by the Albrecht brothers in 1946, shortly after which the Discounterprinzip was born. That's why Aldi stands for Albrecht Discount. All stores were equipped with a small number of groceries offered directly from cartons standing on paletten for Selbstbedienung. Another discount using this principle is... Despite of the brand calling itself Lidl in its own advertisements, there's some people that just insist on it being called Lidl. Don't ask me why. At Lidl, you can buy... Oh, didn't we all love these? The name comes from the founder Hans Riegel, who lived in Bonn, which resulted in the name Haribo. Haribo. So, with the knowledge learned here today, you know how to pronounce every German brand there is, even the ones not listed here. The rules apply anytime, even for regular German names.